closes out with Don D passing out on the floor. Now, we don't know whether it was high blood pressure, high cholesterol, booger sugar, a heart attack, Quaaludes. We don't know what the hell it was. All we know is that nigga's on the floor.
You're just smiling this morning. All of your love is wishing you well.
Okay, so the show opens up with Gladys Knight, but she is not performing on the Soul Train. She's performing on the Soul Show, child. And I remember the show slightly, but this show was very intriguing because it came and went just as quickly as it came. And this show explains what happened. So just a reminder, you know Dickety Clarkety was trying to get a piece of the Soul Train, and Don D said, no. So now Dickety Clarkety says, since you don't want to share, I'm going to make my own, which is going to be the Soul Show. I said, this is some pure D trash right here, but you know, Dickety Clarkety be about that money. Simone and Kelly Price are walking down the street, and who walks up to them but JT Mama, itching and scratching. Simone, you seen my son? I'm looking for him. I need my medicine. Kelly Price is like, who this woman? Now, Kelly Price is still shocked and appalled, like, who this woman, and why the hell are you around her? That's JT Mother? Oh, you can't go near that little boy no more. The only place you're going to go is church and school. She said, Simone said, what about the Soul Train? She said, fuck the Soul Train. Back at the house, okay? And Kendall and Flo was in there and they packing. I don't know what they packing. I don't know. I'm confused. Sometimes I really think that, you know, BET do too much with American Soul. Like, damn, you ain't got to put 1,000 things in one show. Just narrow it down to like maybe 50, okay? But anyway, moving on. So he packing. Nate, poor Nate. I don't know why. It's like he's just like a ghost and he just like appears up out of like nowhere. Nate said, son, you need some help with the packing? He said, no. What I need help with is for you to get out my mama's house. If you was truly trying to help, you would leave this house just like I am. Tessa quit the Soul Train for real because now we see her at an audition where she sees an old friend, right? Now, she in her feelings because the old friend that she used to dance with back in Germany is now in charge of this particular dance group. And child coming to find out that the old friend, Evelyn, used to be her best friend who was creeping and hunching all over her ex-fiance, Prescott. And now they got a baby together, okay? Oh, so Tessa really in her feelings, child. Tessa just was like, you know what? I'm out. Don D sits down with this guy named CJ. Child. I mean, it is BS everywhere now. Now, King Conquerine in his feelings. Because he's like, why you hiring this dude? I'm your silent partner. I can silently take care of the Soul Show or Glow, whatever it is. I can take care of this. Don D said, I don't need your help. Be silent. So go over there, he sit with CJ. CJ, I need your help. This Soul Show is putting a damper on me. What I need to do? CJ like, oh, that ain't nothing. I could just get a couple of people to come out and we gonna protest and we gonna shut all this shit niggity down. Don D said, well, what is gonna take me? He said, money and a lot of it. Now, because the daggone protester was like, okay, I need some money, a lady from the bank comes and bring Don D's all his money that he has in the bank. Don D say, is this it? She said, yeah, this it. Do you want me to get your wife's? Do you want me to take some money from your wife? I can contact her and, you know, take some money. He said, wait a minute, my wife got a separate account? She like, yeah. Don D nervous. He called. She ain't picking up the phone. And know this, she ain't picked up the phone the entire episode. She ain't mess with you, Don. What you're not going to do is screw around with Elsa Dubonnet and not be punished. Mom's Restaurant with Roberts, i.e. Reggie, is talking to JT, okay? He said, JT, they talking about you snitching around here. JT said, I ain't snitching on nothing or nobody. He was like, oh yeah, well you gonna have to prove it. You gonna have to prove your loyalty. JT was like, alright. And I'm saying to myself, what? Prove it? Nigga, I proved it when I drove the getaway car for your ass when you killed that policeman. I ain't got to prove nothing else, nigga. So then we get to where Kendall is waiting in the wings, watching JT and Reggie talking. Now, when Reggie get up and walk away, Kendall walks over and say, hey, we need two things from you, buddy. The first thing is the studio called us and said they got some time for us and all we got to pay is half price. So I'm going to need that money back. JT reaching his sock and hand it to him. Now, I'm appalled. I'm shocked and appalled because I would have thought his junkie mama stole it from him. But hey, I mean, I guess he hit it great because, you know. Anyway, the second thing is you need to stay the hell away from Roberts because he's bad news. JT say, mind your business. Now, Don D talking to CJ and saying, listen, I done paid you $10,000 for these protesters and ain't nothing moving. CJ said, okay, Don, okay, trust me. You know, the revolution is coming. Just trust me. And he goes to Gerald, King Conkerline. Gerald look at him like, how may I help you? Don D said, I need your help, but please don't kill nobody. Gerald said, you got it. So then Don D sits down with Dickety Clarkety and he says, Dickety Clarkety, what are you trying to do? I'm trying to get a second season here. You're destroying me. Dickety Clarkety said, that's not my fault. I mean, I offered you, to buy you out. But now I'm just going to have to smother you out. And the offer is off the table. Fuck you. So now this is one thing that I did not understand. Because if my wife was to walk in this door and see another man or a bulldagger talking to me, there would be a problem. Especially if we're in a bad place. So now let me break this down. Tessa's ex-fiance, Prescott, comes through the door. Or knocks on the door. She let him in. They talking. Prescott say again, I'm sorry for fucking your best friend. And yes, she was pregnant when me and you were still together. I'm sorry. But you are a great dancer. And I would love for you to come down to the final auditions. Okay? Now her husband walked through the door and said, wait a minute, what's going on here? Man, you having problems right now. Why is this nigga in our house? What's going on? I'm sick of your bullshit, Tessa. Tessa's still being very dismissive of his issue. You can't do that in a marriage. Now, if y'all was boyfriend and girlfriend and y'all lived apart, that would be one thing. But when you're in a marriage and your partner comes to you and say, listen, I have a problem with something. Child. Anyway, we back to the protest, right? Some man comes up and said, you trying to take jobs from union workers. Pop somebody in the face. Next minute you know it is salt and pepper people fighting everywhere. And you know them good white folks. They can't have all this fighting and rioting. They want to have peace, okay? So then all of a sudden you see 4 black coats come out. And who 4 black coats is, that's just powerful men. That's what I say, powerful men that can make things move just like that. So they come out and that was like, Don D, may we speak with you? Can you come here, please? Yes, you, Don Diggity. Yeah, Don D. Clark. We seeing that Kelly Price and Nate are getting closer and closer because they done went on down to a juke joint that was owned by her brother. We also find out at this part that Kelly Price sacrificed her singing career for her husband. And who was there to comfort her? Nate. JT is back home, in an abandoned warehouse thingy. I don't know what they living in. I have no idea, but he walks in and some junkie is holding his baby sister. He snatches the baby sister up and say, Mom, what are you doing? She goes, well, if your ass was here to give me my medicine, this wouldn't be a problem. Oh, but it ain't a problem no more because guess what? JT got her ass put into, what is that, an insane asylum? That's what they had on the door, or the crazy house or something like that. Now, I thought it was going to be old rehab center, but then when I'm thinking about it, you got to have money to be in a rehab center. But if you say somebody crazy, then, they be like, okay, let's get this crazy motherfucker off the street. Back to, the studio where Tessa like scratching and pirouetting and twisting around, whatever that ballet, all that dancing stuff, okay? Evelyn is talking to Tessa and saying to her, look, girl, I know I done fucked your boyfriend. And then got pregnant by him. I'm sorry. But listen, life for me ain't been no crystal stairs, okay? I rarely get to see my husband and my son. So, girl, what you got sounds pretty good to me. So now we get to Simone and Kendall at the studio, and they waiting on JT. And out comes the Commodores. Of course, it wasn't the real Commodores, but I just think it's just the cutest thing how they bring all these names into play on the show. I just love it. And we get to where Tessa performs at the audition. Now, she's not performing the piece that she's supposed to be performing. She's performing an original choreography. And I'm saying to myself, well, she probably ain't going to do this. She ain't going to do this because I think what Evelyn told her about, listen, you have the life, not me. She performs her piece, and I'm glad to see her husband in the wings because to me, that means she's actually sharing. So then we get to where we find out that the protest was successful. Don D says to King Conqueline Gerald, thank you, man. What did you do? He said, oh, I ain't do nothing. We'll pay that dude to smack that other dude in the face. Don D says, what? I could go to jail. Gerald says, calm down. I didn't even use my nunchucks. Just calm down, Don D. Now the show closes out with Don D passing out on the floor. Now we don't know whether it was high blood pressure, high cholesterol, booger sugar, a heart attack, Quaaludes. We don't know what the hell it was. All we know is that nigga's on the floor. Now, remember this. The same people you meet on the way up will always be the same people you meet on the way down. Naysayers, my patron loves, House of Narob. If you need me, I will always be there for you. Let's be good to each other. Deuce.
Oh, yeah, yeah.